Following developments out of the Philippines, where a powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake has killed at least 32 people. CBS News foreign correspondent Ramy Inocencio has more from our London newsroom. Ramy, what are we learning about this earthquake? We saw a video this morning of young children, I guess at a school, where we could see the roof of their school collapsing. What more can you tell us?
Yes, absolutely. They were cowering in fear right in front of their school, and then we saw that rooftop fall down behind them. Putting this into context, Vlad, this is the biggest earthquake to hit the Philippines in 36 years. What were you doing in the year 1990? Because that was the last time a 7.8 magnitude quake hit the Philippines. The shaking started at about 7 a.m. local time. People were starting their day. Kids were starting to go to school. Most of the people who were killed were in buildings that collapsed, also debris falling on them, and then from a landslide that also kicked off. There you see a restaurant there, a famous Jollibee restaurant there, which is quite iconic in the country. 12 people, we understand, at this point are still missing. Authorities also checking into reports of students being trapped in a school that collapsed. Also today, it just happens to be the first day back to school for a lot of those students after the past couple months off on summer break. And part of the reason why we're seeing so much catastrophe here is because the epicenter of this quake was quite shallow and quite near the coast. 20 miles off the coast, about 20 miles deep. And, you know, as quakes go, when it's shallow, there's more destruction. 3 countries around the region, the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia, also reported potential tsunami. There were 2 reports of actual tsunami up to 3 feet, but no deaths or injuries reported there. And then there were more aftershocks, actually, series of them, the biggest magnitude 6.5. And right now, classes in the region are suspended. About 3 million students, we understand, have been affected by that, too.
Just terrifying moments for those students and everyone in the region. Ramy, thank you so much.
As you can see, everything looks like it's shaking. Something just fell. All right, guys, everything is shaking. I think there may be an earthquake happening in Mexico right now. I'm in Playa del Carmen. As you can see, everything looks like it's shaking. Something just fell. Nothing is above me. This has been going on for not very long, a couple minutes. A little scary. Don't know really what to do. Yeah, when I was in earthquakes in LA, they didn't last this long, so yeah, this is not an ideal situation. I think it's stopping though. So I think it stopped. So yeah. Hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully that's it. I don't see the pool, that rooftop pool isn't, or that rooftop pool being built isn't shaking anymore, so yeah.
A major earthquake hits a Venezuela airport. We don't know if anybody has died yet and what the damage is, but it looks really bad. Make sure to subscribe and I'll keep you up to date.
A 7.1 magnitude earthquake rocking Venezuela, and separate quakes reported in California and Japan. I want to show you some of the video. We are just now getting into it. These chaotic moments on the streets of Caracas, dust filling the air after the capital there in Venezuela felt that intense shaking. You see people walking around, some of them looking confused. A baseball game coming to a halt. People running for safety. You see the light fixture up there swaying. People running for safety to the center of the field. Just hours before that, we saw a 5.6 quake hitting Northern California, knocking shelves of food to the ground. We're also following a 6.9 quake in Japan with tsunami advisories in effect there. There's a lot going on, lot to watch. We've got Bill Karen standing by. But I want to start with Aaron Gilchrist joining us now, because it seems that the most significant of these is the one that just happened late today in Venezuela. Aaron, what do we know about the possibility of any injuries, about how people are doing there?
Yeah, less than an hour ago this happened, Hallie, and at this point there aren't any reports about any serious injuries or any major damage having happened here. But obviously a 7.1 magnitude earthquake is a major earthquake, and this was one that happened a little after 6 o'clock Eastern time, apparently in the northwestern part of Venezuela, so putting it very much near the coast of Venezuela, the Caribbean coast of Venezuela. There are reports that there could have been some of the shaking felt in parts of Colombia, and as you've been saying, this video that we're seeing now out of the Caracas area, which is more than 100 miles away from where we believe the epicenter of this earthquake was, and still we see the shaking. You see people who felt that shaking running into the streets, getting reports about buildings with cracks potentially in some of these buildings. We've been hearing reports about bottles being knocked off of shelves in stores in this area, and obviously people very much concerned about their safety, running into the streets, trying to get to safe spaces, potentially to open spaces in case there were any buildings that might collapse. And again, at this point, an hour after this earthquake happened, we are not getting any reports about any buildings that have collapsed or seen any major damage, or any reports about people having been injured. Hallie, there are alerts that have been posted by the National Weather Service in this country about the potential for tsunamis in this area. An earthquake of this magnitude near the coast could potentially send waves to neighboring islands, into the Caribbean Netherlands, into Aruba. There are reports about advisories at least being posted for Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands to be on the lookout for potentially tsunami waves. Hallie.
Aaron Gilchrist, we'll look to see if we get more video coming into us, too. I know our teams are on top of that.
News.
Aaron.
3 separate earthquakes in 3 countries today, including one here in the United States. The most recent tonight off the coast of Venezuela. 2 back-to-back earthquakes, magnitude 7.2 and 7.5. They struck about 100 miles west of Caracas. This is video of search and rescue crews going through collapsed buildings there. People describe buildings swaying and walls collapsing. Some areas lost cell phone service, so calling for help or calling family members is difficult. Right now, the airport is closed, and at this point, no updates from the government on the number of injuries or fatalities. Another earthquake tonight struck Japan. This one had a magnitude of 6.9. A camera was rolling and shaking as that earthquake hit. It struck off the coast of Honshu, which is Japan's main island. There have been strong earthquakes recently in the area. There are no reports of any injuries or damage in Japan, and officials say there is no danger of a tsunami. And we have new video of an earthquake today in Northern California. The epicenter near the town of Willits, about 140 miles north of San Francisco. Thousands of people left without power, and authorities encouraged people to stay off the roads so emergency crews and workers could get by. There were reports of some people injured.
Breaking news, an earthquake slams Northern California. ABC 7 Eyewitness News is live in Mendocino County, where thousands are currently without power, some without water, and there's widespread damage, but it all seems to be minor. And we have new video just into the newsroom showing you the moment that 5.6 quake hit. It did have good shaking, and of course you see some bottles fell off store shelves. It first registered as a magnitude 6, but look at the shaking. It has since been downgraded to a 5.6. With that, we say good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kristen Z.
And I'm Karina Nova. The quake was centered near Willits, which is north of Ukiah. There have been at least a dozen aftershocks. ABC 7 Mornings anchor Liz Byro joins us live in studio with a look at the damage. Liz?
Yeah, Kristen, Karina, I mean, that epicenter, like you said, is in a relatively unpopulated area in Willits, but we are hearing this was felt in varying degrees across the Bay Area. You're going to hear Drew say it. Reports in Sonoma, Walnut Creek, all the way down to San Jose. I do want to show you a photo that was sent in for a viewer. This is from Renee Morgan. I mean, look at everything on this shelf. Plates, cans coming crashing to the ground. Another image showed this very heavy speaker inching towards that ledge. I also want to show you now a live picture from the grocery outlet in Willits. There is a heavy police and fire presence in the area. A crew's on scene reporting that back to us. This is just one of several grocery stores shut down. We know there is no power in this plaza. When we pan over, you're going to see again, no one going in and out. This is closed. A Lucky's is closed. A Safeway is closed. I do want to give you a look inside now. Things knocked off the store shelves. When you walk through, look at that on the right side of your screen as crew members, team members work to clean this up. We know power is out for the entire community, as I said. Now here's some more video we just got into our newsroom. Wait for that shake to hit. Boom. There it starts going. Things crashing to the ground. Shows that shaking at this is at Upper Lake Grocery in Lake County. Just a lot of images like this coming into our newsroom. We've also been talking to a lot of people throughout this morning. We cut into broadcasting this morning and spoke with Greenwood Ridge Fire Chief Artie Beacon. Take a listen.
This is a wake-up call for Northern California. We need to wake up from our sleep and get a little more seismically prepared for something that might happen downrange.
Right, you hear Chief Beacon sharing that warning. This is a wake-up call for NorCal. We are also hearing reports of no water and no power. I'll have all of those updates in the next half hour. Kristen, Karina.
All right, Liz, thank you. We know how to prepare for an earthquake, but are you ready? You can get a kit, make a plan, and be informed. If you need help, check out abc7news.com/preparenorcal.
Yeah, it's only a relief that it's in a relatively unpopulated area for California. But let's turn things over now to ABC 7 meteorologist Drew Tuma with more on this quake and the aftershocks.
Yeah, we all got that alert to our phones at 8:10 this morning as that magnitude 5.6 earthquake with the epicenter about 7 miles to the south and east of Willits. Since that first earthquake at 8:10, we've seen dozens of aftershocks. Right now, currently 40 aftershocks in the region. The maximum magnitude so far of those aftershocks, about a 2.8. At that magnitude, you'd really have to be on top of the epicenter of these aftershocks to really feel anything. But that magnitude 5.6 was felt across the entire region, as far north as southern Oregon. As you look at the epicenter right here, the Did You Feel It reported, of course, the strongest shaking near the epicenter, folks reporting moderate to strong shaking. But you look around the entire North Bay. I mean, everybody felt at least some weak shaking, not just the North Bay. We'll zoom on down a little bit to the south, the entire Bay shoreline, the city, the East Bay, the peninsula, even as far south as Santa Cruz, reporting some weak shaking out of this system. All right, so the aftershock forecast, this coming from the USGS, they put some numbers to the next 7 days, and of course, a pretty high likelihood of at least a magnitude 3 aftershock. We're seeing those kind of out there right now, and then guys, those chances really drop off with anything stronger over the next 7 days.